It was supposed to be her sister's big night, a blind date with a wealthy, charming CEO. But when the sister refused to go, shy, plain-looking Lila was sent in her place. She wasn't wearing designer clothes or fancy perfume, just a simple dress that didn't quite fit right. She didn't expect the man sitting at that elegant restaurant table to even look at her twice, but when Ethan, the single dad and CEO, looked up and saw her, something changed. He didn't see what the world saw. He saw someone who carried quiet kindness in her eyes. And that night, one unexpected encounter would change both of their lives forever. On SSML above to give it a try, enjoy using text-to-speech. Lila had never been the favorite daughter. Her sister, Marissa, was the beautiful one, confident, stylish, and popular. Lila was quiet, bookish, and worked 2 part-time jobs to help their struggling family. So when Marissa was set up on a blind date with a rich businessman named Ethan Hayes, she was thrilled until she learned Ethan was a single dad. Marissa rolled her eyes. "I'm not babysitting some guy's kid," she scoffed. "Lila, go pretend to be me. I can't waste my time on that." Lila froze. "You want me to lie for you?" But Marissa had already tossed her red dress onto the bed. "Just go. Smile. Pretend. You're good at that sweet girl act anyway." And that's how Lila, with trembling hands and a heart full of nerves, found herself walking into an upscale restaurant that smelled faintly of roses and candle wax. The restaurant buzzed with quiet conversations and soft piano music. Lila felt completely out of place. She wasn't used to such luxury. Her shoes were borrowed, and her hair was pinned back in a hurry. When she spotted Ethan, tall, well-dressed, with a calm but tired look in his eyes, she almost turned and ran, but Ethan stood and smiled. "Marissa?" Lila nodded hesitantly. Yes." He gestured to the seat across from him. "Please, sit. I hope you like Italian." As the evening went on, Lila expected him to grow bored. She didn't know the right things to say, and she didn't play the flirtatious games her sister did so easily. But instead of talking about money or success, Ethan asked simple, human questions. "What do you like to do? What makes you happy?" At first, she gave short, polite answers. But soon, she found herself opening up. She told him about her love for painting, how she volunteered at a local shelter, and how she dreamed of finishing college one day. Ethan listened quietly, smiling in a way that made her heart warm. He didn't look at his phone once. Halfway through dinner, a soft, small voice interrupted them. "Daddy?" Lila turned and saw a little boy with curly hair and big brown eyes, no older than 6. He ran to Ethan and hugged his leg. "I'm sorry, sweetheart," Ethan said softly. "You weren't supposed to be here tonight." The boy looked shyly at Lila. "Are you my new babysitter?" Lila smiled. "No, I'm just a friend of your dad's." The boy climbed into the seat next to her and began telling her about his toy dinosaurs and how he missed his mom, who had gone to heaven when he was 3. Lila's heart melted. She gently drew a tiny T-Rex on a napkin for him, and he beamed. Ethan watched quietly, his expression softening. It had been years since he'd seen his son smile that wide with a stranger. After dinner, Ethan walked Lila to her car. "I'm sorry if my son showing up ruined the evening," he said. "Are you kidding?" She smiled. "He was the best part." Ethan looked at her closely. "You're not like other people I've met. There's something real about you." Lila blushed. "That's because I'm not really." She stopped herself. "I mean, thank you." He smiled. "Can I see you again?" Lila froze. She couldn't keep lying. But before she could explain, he said, "You don't have to say yes now. Just think about it." That night, she went home feeling torn. Marissa laughed when Lila told her what happened. "Wow, he wants to see you again? Guess he likes the boring type." Lila didn't answer. For the first time in a long while, she felt seen, not for her looks, but for her kindness. The next day, Lila received a message. "Lunch tomorrow? My son keeps asking about you." She didn't have the heart to ignore it. So she went. And lunch turned into painting afternoons with Ethan's son, Liam, who adored her. They'd sit in the park, sketching birds and clouds, while Ethan watched from a distance, smiling. Over time, Lila saw behind the CEO title a man trying his best to be a father, who had lost more than he ever admitted. And Ethan saw in Lila a light he hadn't felt in years. One day, during a charity event for children, Ethan introduced her publicly. "This is Lila," he said proudly. "She's the reason I started this foundation. She reminded me that kindness still exists." Lila's heart pounded. But before she could stop him, Marissa appeared, furious. "What are you doing with my date, Lila?" she hissed in front of everyone. The room went silent. Ethan blinked. "Your date?" Lila's lips trembled. "I'm sorry, Ethan. She told me to go instead of her. I didn't mean to lie." Tears welled up in her eyes. "I just didn't want to hurt you or your son." Ethan stood there, speechless. Marissa smirked and walked away, thinking she'd won. Lila, heartbroken, left the event and didn't look back. Days passed. Lila avoided his calls. She couldn't sleep, replaying his disappointed face in her mind, but one rainy afternoon, there was a knock at her door. When she opened it, Ethan stood there, drenched but smiling softly, holding a familiar napkin, the napkin with the tiny T-Rex she had drawn. "My son wouldn't stop asking about you," Ethan said. "He said you promised to help him finish the dinosaur family." Lila's voice cracked. "I'm sorry for lying. I didn't think someone like you would care about someone like me." Ethan took her hand gently. "Lila, kindness is rare. You showed me more of it in one dinner than most people show in a lifetime. I don't care how we met, I just care that we did." Her tears fell freely, and for the first time, she let herself believe she was worthy of being loved, not for who she pretended to be, but for who she truly was. Months later, Lila's art filled the walls of Ethan's charity foundation. She helped organize programs for underprivileged kids, painting smiles where there used to be sorrow. And every evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, Ethan and Liam would visit her studio. Liam would grin and hand her crayons, saying, "Let's draw more dinosaurs." And Ethan would just smile, whispering, "You're the best thing that ever happened to us." Kindness had brought them together, a kindness that began not with perfection, but with a simple, selfless heart. So next time you think your small act of kindness doesn't matter, remember Lila's story. You never know whose life your compassion might change, or how it might bring unexpected love into your own. If this story touched your heart, please give it a like, share it with someone who believes in kindness, and don't forget to subscribe to Ripple of Love. Together, let's keep spreading stories that remind the world kindness isn't weakness. It's power, it's healing, and it's love.